Good afternoon, everyone. I'm student meteorologist John Choquette for a special edition of Westconn's weather team regarding Hurricane Sandy. Latest satellite imagery shows Sandy is really getting its act together. You see this hurricane inside what looks like a giant nor'easter, and this picture doesn't really show the true size of Sandy. This storm has tropical storm force winds extending across 900 miles. To give you an idea how large that is, it takes a commercial airliner 2.5 hours to cross these tropical storm force winds. As of 2 p.m., the max winds are 75 miles per hour, but the true story is the minimum pressure, 950 millibars. This is something we see more in a Category 3 or Category 4 hurricane. This storm is very dynamic and very powerful, and it is deepening and continuing to increase in intensity as we speak. And it's also moving to the northeast at 14 miles per hour. National Hurricane Center track shows this northeastward track just for a little longer till about 8 a.m. Monday when it makes a northwest hook going into central, south central, or north central New Jersey. My personal view is we're going to have a landfall looking like somewhere around between Belmar, New Jersey and Sandy Hook, New Jersey, which is an absolute worst case scenario for southern New England, Connecticut, Long Island, and the New York metro area. Now we have weather alerts to show you. All this deep blue is high wind warnings. That explains itself. An entire state of New York is under a high wind warning. I've never even seen that before, along with New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Massachusetts, Vermont, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. On top of that, we also have excessive flood warnings under that, but we only see the high wind warnings in this map. So now it's plan out those preparations. Any last minute preparations you have. Right now we have, Westconn has said no school for Monday or Tuesday. And it's also had evacuations of the Midtown campus and Grosso Hall, so either make sure you get yourself home by tonight or get yourself to Centennial or Penny Hall to ride out this storm. Also, finish any other preparations you have today. Go to the grocery stores or anything. Get that done by this evening. If you haven't started preparations yet, I'm afraid it might be a little too late because when I was at the grocery store recently, there was absolutely no water left and we're running low on other essential items. And finally, find a place where you can hunker down for the next 48 hours or so. This storm is very long duration. It looks like it won't be in the clear until about Wednesday morning. So find somewhere where you can take shelter and be safe until about Wednesday morning. So now we're going to talk about storm surge potential. That is going to be the big story with Sandy. We see all these colors here, really break it down for you. These dark green colors is the potential for upwards of over 10 feet of storm surge. Here is about 4 to 8 feet of storm surge, and heading down to southern Fairfield County into New York City, possibly even more 11 to 12 feet of storm surge. This could be absolutely catastrophic and record-breaking storm surge for along the coast. So anyone who lives along the coast where there's been mandatory evacuations mandated, get yourselves out of there. This is a very potential for a very devastating situation. So now we're going into the effects for Danbury. Thankfully, we will not be seeing any storm surge here because we're about 30 miles inland or so. But my big fear is the winds. 40 to 50 mile per hour sustained winds with gusts 60 to 70, possibly even 75 miles per hour here in Danbury. That is also not only over a couple hour period. This is potential for about 30 hours of very strong winds. That's enough to knock down many trees and knock out power for a very large percentage of Connecticut. 1 to 3 inches of rain. It doesn't sound like a lot of rain, but Danbury is very prone to street flooding and low-lying area flooding. So if you live in those areas, be ready for water in your basements or in your yards. And finally, once again, the long duration. This storm is going to be unusually long for a hurricane in New England. Usually we see hurricanes for maybe 12 hours. This one is 18 to 36 hours long. This is going to be a very long storm, which can be very damaging over the amount of time. Now I'm going to time out Sandy for you. For Sunday night, our showers will be starting later and the winds will start to get gusty. Inland, the winds will be 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusting a little over 30 miles per hour. This is about what you see at a standard nor'easter, 25 to 30 miles per hour at the shore, 35 to 40 gusting. But once daybreak comes tomorrow, there's going to be a completely different story. The rain will be heavy and we'll have tropical storm force winds during the day, 35 to 45 miles per hour, winds gusting over 50 miles per hour inland, and possibly over 60 miles an hour at the shoreline. Monday night is when the storm will be closest to us and with the most damaging winds and coastal flooding. High tides looking to be around midnight, and that's right around when we're predicting the storm to be making landfall, which is a terrible combination for the potential devastating storm surge. And also these winds, 40 to 50 miles per hour with gusts over 60 to 70 miles per hour inland. This is in places like Hartford and Torrington and Waterbury, places where we rarely see winds of this magnitude over this amount of time. a very dangerous situation. I highly recommend you do not go outside and try to drive around and look at all the damage during the storm. It's again, very dangerous situation. And at the coast, we could see wind gusts upwards of over 80 miles per hour, especially in the southeastern portion of the state, or maybe in the southwestern portion of the state as well. The closer you are to the center of this storm, the more powerful the winds are going to be. So southwestern Connecticut, Fairfield, and New Haven counties especially look like we'll be seeing very strong winds from this hurricane. Now going into your Tuesday, the winds will continue. The rain will start to end. Inland, once again, the winds will be 40 to 50 miles per hour sustained. This is going into your Tuesday. This is 12 to 15 hours into the storm, and we're still seeing wind gusts close to 60 miles per hour. This is still damaging wind. I can't emphasize enough that this storm will be long-lasting. This isn't going to be over Monday afternoon. This will be over probably Tuesday night. This is going to be a very long-lasting storm. Even if you don't lose power on Monday, you can still lose power and see damage on Tuesday. And going into your Tuesday night, finally the winds will start to die down a bit, and the showers will be beginning to taper off. Winds 25 to 35 miles per hour inland, gusts around 40, a little more at the shoreline. I need to just re-emphasize this is a very dangerous storm. Find somewhere to hunker down. Here at Westconn, either go home and stay home until we get the okay, or go to Penny Hall or Centennial Hall and stay there until this storm is over. For Westconn Weather Team, I'm student meteorologist John Choquette. Stay safe.